So, as I was telling the chat before, ironically, Bill, you and I are going to be in New Orleans just right around the same time. Now, we are going on two vastly different cruises. And the reason why is tell everybody about your booze cruise that you're going on out of New Orleans.
Well, the booze cruise is going to be 7 days long, October 29th, Sunday to Sunday. And as most 7 day cruises, it's more of a laid back atmosphere. It's over the holiday weekend, so it's going to be kind of a party atmosphere, but not party like when I'm used to going out of Miami, and you have a party on there, but that it's a 7 day cruise. 7 day cruises are a little more relaxed. Scott, I heard you were going on a 4 day cruise.
I am. And also, one other point I want to bring up about a 7 day cruise, too. What does it cost more of?
It's a little more money, but it's laid back. It depends on what you want to do.
110%. I mean, you're still going to have
Oh,
your costume party. You're still going to have Halloween, things like that, obviously. But my 4 day cruise that's going out of New Orleans just 2 days or 2 weeks later, excuse me, is going to be a vastly different crowd. And by what I mean by that is the age is going to be definitely lower. Party ship for sure. Anytime you find yourself on a 4 day cruise or a 3 day cruise or a shorter cruise, be it that, it's always a party atmosphere because the crowd itself feels like they have less time on board because they do. So they get on board, and what do? Use the drink package, start drinking, start enjoying the cruise. So that's why you tend to have just a little bit different of a crowd when you go on a 4 day cruise, which is why I chose this cruise in particular for my little group cruise. Perfect for a first time cruiser to experience that atmosphere. And I know my buddy Keone, who I'm taking on, is absolutely excited about this 4 day cruise, and I've explained that to him too. So that's one reason why our cruises are going to be completely different. Another reason is you're actually going on a holiday cruise, which it is kind of unique all in itself because when you're cruising during the holiday, and you said you have cruised during Halloween, correct, Bill?
during the month, not during Halloween, but during the month of October. So it was near Halloween. They had it decorated. You had the parties, you had all that, but never like actually on Halloween.
Yes. So you're going to experience definitely the frightfully fun aspect of Carnival as far as the deck parties go. You're going to see a lot of things themed out there. The costume party, besides your costume party for your group cruise. So this is going to be really fun for you. The ship will be undecorated by the time I get to the Valor. She's already decorated now for her frightfully fun fest. So that's really where the big difference is. I'm excited, no, nonetheless, for my cruise. I know you're really excited for your cruise, even though you've never been one sailed on Halloween or out of New Orleans.
Well, that's my question to you. Like, when you cruise out of Florida, I cruise mostly out of Florida. Almost all my cruises have been out of Florida. And I know down there, I mean, you get like a small group of people. Most of the people that cruise, like on Carnival, the vast majority of them, like from Florida, from that central area. I mean, you get some people flying in, but majority of people are from like Florida and down in that area. What is it like in New Orleans? I mean, is it people from New Orleans? Well, what's the crowd like or what's the uh, demographics of a cruise ship going on in New Orleans?
That's
Do you know?
110% a great question, and that's kind of a segue right into our next kind of topic here, Bill, because New Orleans is unique in that category that it brings such a diverse cruise crowd to each and every sailing. Just like you said, mostly when you sail out of Florida, or another popular one is Galveston, right? You ask somebody where they're from, they don't even say the state, they say the city because you're either from Texas or you're from Florida 90% of the time. So they'll say the city that they're from. In New Orleans, you would say the state, and sometimes you would even say the country because some people even fly from different countries to go and stay in New Orleans, and they'll stay for a week or two in New Orleans and then get on a cruise. So you get a vast, diverse proud on a 4-day cruise, a 5-day cruise, a 7-day cruise. I've taken all of them out of New Orleans, and that by far of any cruise port is the most diverse cruise port. And you see so many different cruisers, which is fun. It's fun.
I noticed that. Even like the people from the West Coast, usually when you claim a home port, they don't claim Los Angeles. A lot of them claim Galveston or New Orleans, and that always surprised me. Like people in Seattle claim New Orleans. I'm like, that's a little ways away. And let me run down. Destination Fun, welcome in. Art of Black, ATL, welcome in, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Scrolls Nest, I already said spoke to you. Appreciate you being here. Bill, we'll have to visit Harris Casino a few blocks from the port. I've seen it. I never went down there. I never really was a big. I can gamble any place. I'm saving my gambling money for the cruise ship, so I can get a free cruise. So I might go down and just see what it looks like. But casinos, seen that, done that. Not really interested in seeing a casino down there. Traveling Adventures with Eric B. Welcome in, Eric. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, Eric.
And going down, the Mustard Drill. Greetings from Orlando. The Mustard Drill is going on a cruise.
Hey, Scott. Another.
I heard him say the cruise. I want to say it's MSC, maybe Seaside, maybe.
I believe so.
I think it's something like that. See Me Traveling. Welcome in. See Me Traveling.
Hey, see me.
I don't know. Sal is talking about he sees us live on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I see it live, but again, it just might be new to the channel. It just didn't see the get the name right or something like that. But I'm friends with Sal on Facebook.
Everybody said Bill W2, which is it's Warm Strong Adventures.
Together we travel. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Everybody saying hi. Don't forget to hit the like button. We appreciate it if you could. Hit the thumbs up. Yes.
Today.
Mayhem and Miracles. Welcome in.
Oh, hey, Mayhem Miracles.
Speaking to Eddie. Uncle Dave, cruisers that port out of New Orleans are from everywhere. I'm going to find out. This is my first time cruising out of there. The Mustard Drill says a lot of Europeans sell on cruises from NYC. Yes. I cruise out November 19th. I cruise out of NYC for the first time.
Look at you with all your first.
I know, right? I feel like a grown up. I feel like an adult. I'm expanding my palate. I'm getting out of Florida. I'm going to Seattle, Los Angeles, Sydney. I'm getting out of here. Galveston, New Orleans, and NYC. I can't wait. Harris is Caesars now. Well, that's good. I like Caesars.
Oh, yes, that's right. It is.
Mustard Drill 2 cruises, MSC Seaside tomorrow, and Wonder of the Seas on Sunday. Wow. He's a cruiser, people. He's a cruiser. Make sure. Well, I would say, go look for the content. However, Scott, you got to put the content out there. He's been on, I don't know how many cruises, and I haven't seen him. He does go live on the cruise ship. So hit his channel, hit the bell button. So when he goes live and takes a tour of the ship, that you can see it.
And then 2094, all his vlogs from the seaside.
Yeah, something somewhere around there. It'll be sometime. And Mustard Drill is laughing at that. Or he's laughing at something. All right. So
oh yeah. So I was gonna say too. You are staying how many days in New Orleans?
The plan is to go down there. The cruise is 29th. I'm planning on going down there the 27th.
Okay.
And 7 days, Sunday to Sunday. So I may come back like Monday. So I may stay in New Orleans for Sunday night.
And that is another reason, Bill, why I think New Orleans in general, the port itself, brings another uniqueness, because your 2 days there that you have, whether you go out, whatever you decide to vlog, that's going to be almost like a separate experience for you because of the history that, one, the history that New Orleans has, two, Bourbon Street that New Orleans has, and just everything that there is to take in. It's unlike any other port because no other port has a Bourbon Street that is historical like that. No other port has as much history. Well, I don't know if I want to say that, but has history like New Orleans does, the history of the jazz and the blues and being able to just take all of that in. If you don't stay a day before going out of New Orleans, and I'll say this, I think you are doing a huge disservice to yourself by not staying there. So we almost didn't for some crazy reasons, but we are staying a day before, and I am so glad we are because I can't wait. I can't wait.
It sounds like it. But you've been down there before. As I said, my trips were really short. I went down there, uh, went to Bourbon Street, did what I had to do, got out.
Mhm.
What are the people like down there? A lot of people, you always say, well, you don't walk over here. I mean, what are the people like down in New Orleans?
Love that you asked that because it's literally segueing right into the next one, and that is Southern hospitality. And now I know that everybody in the chat has heard that, and people think, oh yeah, Southern hospitality. But let me tell you, Southern hospitality rings so true in New Orleans that you feel it the second you get off the plane. And the second that you're down in Bourbon Street, now let's not talk about actual Bourbon Street dirtiness and all that, but we're talking about the people there, right? And I'm going to define Southern hospitality because what Southern hospitality means to the locals there is that it's really a lifestyle for them. And they pride themselves on the fact that they preach Southern hospitality. And for them, that's great cooking, that guests are treated like family. And if you are interact with anybody that is true from New Orleans, the second they meet you, they treat you exactly like family. Unhurried conversations, and this is something that I really wanted to touch on because so many times in our life, right? Even if you go to CVS nowadays, right? The transaction feels very hurried, right? Every conversation now that we're in post the C word feels very hurried, right? Everything feels very rushed. Oh, I got to get back to work. I
Right.
got to get back to my text message. I got to get, right? You feel everything is just so hurried. That's why some people have anxiety about going out, right? Unhurried conversations is what you're going to get in New Orleans because they slow themselves down. They're not worried, right, about the hustle and bustle. They have unhurried conversations. They want to get to know Warmstrom. They want to get to know why you're here. They really get to want to get to know you and interact with you. So the unhurried conversations and the service down there. Once you come in to a place, the service is immaculate. I mean, every single person is asking how you are. People that are not even your servers are coming by you and they're smiling. Right? It is just a blanket of southern warmthness when you go down to the port of New Orleans, which is also why I'm really excited too. So
Well, I mean, again, when I was on Bourbon Street, again, short period of time, but I was there like, overnight, well, a lot of the night, and everybody was just as friendly. And, everybody has been drinking. Not once, the two times I was down there, not once did I see an argument, a fight, just a lot of people drinking and having fun.
mhm.
And so, again, I thought it amazed me that you have that many people, all different ages, partying. And I mean, you got jazz, you got R&B, you got country. I mean, you got all kind of bars and music down there, and everybody getting along. And I mean, and the country bar is right next to the R&B bar, and I mean, it's just everybody's getting along. And I really was amazed by that. Again, not being from down there, so I don't know how people in New Orleans are. I had a niece that was down there for a while, and she loved it. She moved back up here to Michigan, but I think if she had a chance to move back down there, she would go back down there in a heartbeat because she has nothing but great things to say about New Orleans.
How long did she live there for?
It had to be about 3 years.
Oh wow, wow. Yep.
Let me say hi. Shantyreman, welcome in. Appreciate you being here.
Hello,
Must be
Shane.
looking forward to meeting me on the Marivilia in November. Yes, Scott, can't wait. And let's see if anybody else came in here saying hi. Travel with Eric B. I haven't been to the port, but I love how everything is within walking distance. Yes. But some of the vendors in the French Quarter can be a little aggressive, But all in all, they are great people. I never noticed that. I never noticed anybody trying to push anything. They would ask you, "Hey, you want to do this?" And then, but just you know, no, not really, and no problem. I'd smile. I never saw anybody like aggressive. A monthly channel. There's a lot of things within walking distance of the port as well. Bourbon Street is kind of far.
Hmm. But still, you can it is kind of far, but you can still walk it, and it's a whole
Yep.
grid. So I mean, you just
Najuma Brown, welcome in, Najuma. I appreciate you being here.
hello, Najuma.
Solo cruising and more. You gotta find some Zudico. How do you say it, Scott?
Deco.
Zydeco?
The Deco.
What type of music are we talking? I'm old. What type of music are we talking about?
I think it's like a house kind of music. I believe.
Like electronic?
I believe so.
Okay.
Correct me.
It's all down. I mean, again, if it's good, it's down there. Uncle Dave, look up Pat O'Brien's. It's a huge patio bar with great food and entertainment. It's on St. Peter Street.
It's going to be on our next segment.
Happily ever yada. Happily ever yaddy. Welcome in, yaddy. Appreciate you coming in. And Mona is sifting some soil. I've never been to New Orleans. Well, you know what? I hope you have your plane ticket already because you're about to go on a cruise out of New Orleans, and it's going to be party time.
This next segment's going to be for you.
So, what's the next segment, Scott?
Well, I have a question for you, Bill, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer by just interacting with you over these last 15 weeks. But what are you looking forward to most in New Orleans?
Ooh, again, when I go down to New Orleans, I'm going to Bourbon Street, and I can't wait to get down there and drink, have a couple of sodas, and get some food. I love the food down in New Orleans.
I knew you were going to.
I'm not, and the crazy part is I'm not really a big seafood person, but they have a way of making me feel good about their food.
They do, and New Orleans is actually famous for, and as I was researching this today, I found out I had no idea. Well, I knew it was famous in New Orleans, but I didn't know that they were famously #1 for gumbo, which is seafood, but you can also get different types of gumbo. But I love gumbo, and I can't wait to have gumbo when I go down to New Orleans. And what I've learned from the traveling Gilberts is it starts with a good a roux is ROUX. So yes. So the food down in New Orleans. This next segment is going to be all about the best spots to eat, the best places to stay, and some of the best hotels and the best bars or drinks, in my opinion. Now, this list is subjective because it is from me.
Mona, make sure you're paying attention, Mona.
9 times in New Orleans. So I would say if I am looking for gumbo, which we were just talking about, and I know, well, I'm sure you might not be looking for gumbo, but if you are looking for gumbo, I think that the Oceana Grill has the best gumbo in New Orleans. I think they have really good seafood in general. I've been there 3 or 4 times, I believe, but every single time from the first time that I've been there, I have gotten the gumbo. It is, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And it's not too far from the port. Actually, it's right down in Bourbon Street here. Let me see here. I can do this real quick.
How far is Bourbon Street from the port?
So Bourbon Street from the port is probably about 15-minute ride, Uber ride, or taxi ride, or something ride. So that is these guys here. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Yes, and Bill, I'm going to share this here for everybody if they want to. I'll do this with all of them. I should have been a little bit better prepared, but that is the Oceana Grill. Next, we'll talk about My other favorite food in New Orleans. Up here. This guy here too. Awesome.
And you say this is not too far from the from Bourbon Street?
Yes, not too far from from Bourbon Street, Oceana Grill, and they have really great seafood. But again, their gumbo I think is out of this world. Phenomenal. If you love seafood gumbo, absolutely phenomenal. I'll stop sharing that. And then one of my next favorite foods in New Orleans. I don't know if you've ever had one of these, Bill, but it is a po' boy.
Oh, I have.
Have you? Okay.
I have. And I can't tell you where my niece took us to some restaurant, and I can't remember exactly where it was at. It wasn't on Bourbon Street, but it wasn't far from Bourbon Street.
Okay. This one is also very, very close. I believe it's like right off of Canal Street. So it's right there. It's actually called Killer Po' Boys at Erin Rose. And I believe there may be another Killer Po' Boys out there. But the one at Erin Rose in specific is the one that I am talking about. I do not leave New Orleans without going to Erin Rose and getting a killer po' boy, sometimes a catfish, sometimes a shrimp. Usually catfish, though, because I'm landlocked in Arizona here. So whenever I get a good piece of fish, I absolutely will. But for those who don't eat seafood, they also have, I believe, a chicken po' boy or some kind of other po' boy for
They do. I had one definitely that wasn't seafood.
But yeah, so that's Killer Po' Boys down in Erin Rose. And it's really not that expensive too. Their po' boys are definitely reasonably priced.
Good.
And super super close. So and then let's see here, another one that I also like here. Let's see, where is this? Was for jambalaya. I know another fan favorite. Before we hop on to the next one, jambalaya, Bill. I know also made with seafood, but have you had jambalaya?
I have not.
Jambalaya is really good. It is
Okay. And people don't judge me.
Jambalaya is it's man, it's like a seafood rice soup kind of, not really soup dish that's just absolutely amazing. And in my opinion, I will give you my recommendation. That would be the ever so famous Acme Oyster House, which also has wonderful oysters too. But I absolutely love their jambalaya. They have really good seafood too. I don't think as good seafood as other places, but I think that their jambalaya is absolutely out of this world. Out of
Sweet.
Yes. So those are a few of my recommendations for some of the food in New Orleans. I know there is tons. I didn't want to stay up here and just continually loop all of these restaurants, but if you guys have some in the chat that you would like to give Warmstrong or myself, we're always learning. Let us know some of your favorite food spots in New Orleans, and let us know why too as well. So
FR Humphrey has made it in. Felicia, welcome in. She's also going to be on the booze cruise.
oh, Felicia.
She's going to be there with Mona. I don't know if they're going together, but they I know they do a late night chat together. So they're going to do the booze cruise.
All right, and now I don't have screenshots to share with these, but we're just going to talk about these. As you talked about going into Bourbon Street, we'll talk about some of the best bars, in my opinions, and the best drinks that you can get down in Bourbon Street. We will start with Uncle Dave's suggestion of Pat O'Brien's, nicknamed Patty O's, for the ever so famous Hurricane.
I've actually had one of those. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the old myth is, I don't know how true this is, but they say you cannot have more than 3 hurricanes. Otherwise, you will not remember the night or something like that. There's some kind of jingle, but you can't have more than 3 because they are very, very strong.
Well, we're gonna have to test that theory.
I think I
But
had one. I had one. I don't do sweet drinks, but I had to do it for the whole, patios being down there. So, and they have good food too. So,
I might do that. I might do that on the cruise is Sunday, maybe Friday night. So if it doesn't agree with me, Saturday I can still rest and be okay for the cruise. Nothing worse than being sick on a cruise ship.
yes, very true.
Hey
Very true.
Keisha, welcome in. Thanks for being here, Keisha.
Hello, Keisha. And then let's see. Oh, one of my other favorites too here is I shared this on our, I believe, on one of our other live streams. It's called Huge Blank Beers, ASS, Huge Blank Beers, and they serve 32-ounce plastic glasses or plastic glasses of beer that you are to put on their dry ice bar. So you get the 32-ounce beer and then you just sit it on the bar that's already cold. And the idea is that it keeps your beer cold for the duration of however long it takes you to drink 32 ounces.
That's a lot of beer.
That is a lot of beer.
That's a lot of beer.
Yes, and you get to keep the mug too. That's the whole thing. I've had a few of them. I've since lost them, but they are very large and very big. And that I'm telling you, I don't know what they do, but that beer stays like frosty, and you can almost see it. Like you touch it on the metal thing that keeps it cold, and you can almost like see like the icicles through it. So huge ass beers, and it's I believe $14, $16, I think. So it's really not that.
That's not a bad price.
It's really not. And they know that they compete with the prices. So very
Cruising Scene. Welcome in, Cruising Scene. Appreciate you coming in.
Hello, Cruising Scene. And then my
seeing me traveling says Big Aft Brew. Was that the name of the place?
Yes. Well, no, it's Big. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kurt was trying to find a way.
Gotcha.
Nice. Thank you. And I believe my last best drinks recommendation will be, and again, I've been at many other bars than these three, but these are the first that I would think of to have a good time down in New Orleans. This one is Prohibition. I really like I like Prohibition. Well, Prohibition, I know. Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't the last one. There's one more. Okay. So, Prohibition. I think Prohibition is a great time. Once the sun goes down, you go in there. It's a really good vibe. The drinks are very, very strong, very cheap. They have a lot of specials too. That's a really good thing about Prohibition. They have a lot of drink specials.
Wait. Did you just say they were really cheap?
Drink specials. Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking my language. I'm all ears now. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
2 furs, 3 furs, 4 furs, buy a shot, get a shot, give a shot, get a shot. Yeah. So it's very, let's say, loosey-goosey over in Prohibition. So all the times that I've been there anyway, I've walked out of there very saucy. So Prohibition is one of my favorites. And then the last one I'll share, this is the last one. I was going to say Fat Tuesdays, but I mean, that's not a recommendation. Come on, everybody knows Fat Tuesdays. So Fat Tuesdays, you want to go get messed up, go to Fat Tuesdays. But I think this is the best dive bar. I don't know how you feel about dive bars, Bill.
Love them.
I love dive bars. I'm a big dive bar fan, and I'm not going to give you too many. There's a bunch down there, but I think my favorite dive bar in that whole Bourbon Street area is Alibi. I think it's the best dive atmosphere. I mean, again, the drinks are super cheap. Everybody is super friendly when you walk in. The atmosphere is, I mean, it's kind of lit up when you go in. So it's a great time. Alibi is, I go to Alibi every time.
I feel like you're giving me homework to do now. I'm gonna have to go back over this, take notes because I haven't been taking notes to find out where to go.
And it took me a while too to find Alibi. I didn't find Alibi till like the 4th time I was in New Orleans. I forgot who told us. Either I think it was an Uber driver or a cab driver, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I've been to New Orleans a bunch." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Oh, you ever been to Alibi?" I'm like, "Oh, what's Alibi?" It's like, "Oh, it's a bar." I'm like, "Oh, it must be on Bourbon Street." He's like, "Oh, it's a dive bar." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." whatever, been to a lot of the bars. Ended up finding, I have no idea how we ended up finding our way, drunk way there, but found our drunk alibi. And I was like, wait, this is the bar that our Uber driver was talking about. We went in.
Right.
I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have, not turned a blind ear to that, or a blind eye to that. But at least we found it. And Alibi is one of my favorite dive bars down there. It's so cool.
Let's see. We got Cruising Scene is saying little homie bars are the best. Can't stop walking, but love mowing and cruising. Darian, welcome in. Appreciate you being here.
Hello.
The Moonlight Adventures, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. I think that's about that.
Hello,
yeah. Also, people, I think when you came in, there was a poll. If you haven't answered the poll question, please answer the poll questions, because we're gonna go over that poll question in a few more minutes.
Yes, and I believe that poll reads, I will read it to you guys. Have you ever taken a cruise from New Orleans? 1, yes, I love NOLA. 2, no, but I want to, with Warmstrong and Controversial Cruising. And 3, been too many times to count. So those are the 3 choices that you guys have. Yes.
Can't Stop Walking says headed to the French Quarter first week of December. Nice. Scrolls Nest, I don't know if this has been mentioned. If you are into World War II history, New Orleans has a fantastic World War II museum. I don't think it's been mentioned, Scrolls Nest, so thank you. Because if I go down for 2 days, I'm gonna need things to do. I just can't. I'm gonna try not to just live on Bourbon Street for 2 days.
And you know who also has some really good vlogs of museums, if you're interested in that too? Megs and C's, who just recently went down there too as well.
Megs and C's, okay.
She's got a lot of good historical actual museums that she's taking you to, which aren't far from the park, maybe 10, 20 minute, Uber ride. So
yeah. Moonlight Adventure says we're going to hit Tin Roof. What do you think about that bar? Do you know anything about the Tin Roof?
Tin Roof. We're going.
It's on the house.
Tin Roof. I don't think I've ever been. I have to put that on the map this time. Moonlight Tin Roof. Okay, I'll remember.
I've heard the saying before, but I never, as far as the bars, I don't even remember what the name of the bar was.
Unless they show up and I'm like, oh, I have been there, but I don't think I have. I don't think I have. I would have remembered that one. I'm gonna put that on my
Tin Roof. Yep. Everybody saying hi.
Private chat myself. Tin Roof. Tin Roof. Good. Remembered.
Moonlight just wanted to pop in, hit it to our live stream. Hope you all have a great night. Thank you, Moonlight Adventure. Yeah, Moonlight Adventure. They're having I believe tonight is the podcast. They're having the True Godfather, Lalita Loca, Tony B, on their podcast right after this show.
They are.
So if you get a chance, if you can. If one of the mods can drop the link to Moonlight Adventures, if not, I'll try to go in there and find it myself. But the podcast right after this,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm interested.
Live. I'm gonna see what Tony B has to say.
Yep. Very interested. I saw that today. I was like, oh. Okay.
That was. I mean, that's a great catch for Moonlight Adventures. I'm so proud of them. Wow. That was a good one. Let's see. Have to go to the Fritzo's European Jazz Club. Awesome music and drinks. Small hole in the wall place. Any place playing jazz is my type of place.
There you go, Bill. Take notes on that one. That one I had no idea on that one. See.
And Cruise Nuts, welcome in, Cruise Nuts.
Welcome in, Cruise Nuts. Great to have a knowledgeable chat too, as well.
As always, that's what I love about this cruise community. People know so much about it.
So much. And so have you stayed in different hotels when you go down there, or Airbnbs, or do you have friends when you go down there?
I had a buddy I used to stay with if I stayed down there. One time I went down there and came back like the same day. I mean, I just spent the whole day down there and caught a red eye back. So no, this will be first time staying out towards the riverfront. We're going Bruce, one of the great travel agents, got us a room rate at Holiday Inn West Bank, I believe. Holiday Inn
Okay.
West Bank. So a lot of us are staying there.
Yeah, I went through. Well, I honestly tell you guys the truth. I couldn't remember everywhere where I stayed in New Orleans, so I had to open up the Priceline and Expedia app. I will tell you, I book most of my travel through Expedia and Priceline since I've been doing it since I was, I don't know, 2012. So I have all these points here, like, gold member, whatever, platinum member. So I've been booking with them. So I went back and I looked and tried to remember staying at all these places. But in my opinion, the best hotels is going to be, well, number one. And I don't think these are in necessarily any order, but I do like this one that I'm going to start off with in particular really well. I've stayed there, I think, showed me 3 times. The Drury Hotel in New Orleans. So if you're looking for a nice, affordable, yet very clean, uh, awesome hotel to stay for one night while you're in the port, Drury Hotel is awesome, and it books up super fast. So,
Hey, Scott, I have somebody in the basement. Hold on.
oh,
Bring me in, boys.
You are on. You are live.
What is up, my friend?
Everybody.
So, with this special guest, we were going to introduce him, but my special guest here, we actually weren't sure that we were going to get a special guest, but my special guest is Keone, who is going to be joining me on this Carnival Valor cruise. And just to preface this a little bit, he had been waiting in the wings for a long time to go on a cruise. He had been watching my stories. We had been coworkers at one point. I had been talking his ear off about cruising. Yeah, we'll get there. And then I finally got a text message about 7 or 8 months ago that said I'm ready. I had no idea what that meant. And I said, okay, cool. When are you coming over? When are we hanging out? No, he's like, no, man, like to cruise. And I was like, wait, like, are you serious? He's like, I'm serious. When's your next one? I said, well, the next one, I'm already going with somebody, but the one after that, I have a perfect cruise for you. I got the New Orleans cruise. If you've ever been out of New Orleans, 4-day cruise. I don't care how long it is, I'm in. And lo and behold, this is where we are. First for Keone. He has never cruised before. So, Keone, one question that I have for you, not to segue off of this hotels thing, but one question that I always had to you: what made you so ready to finally want to cruise?
Honestly, I think a lot of it was like just work in general and like life in general. I just wanted to take a nice little break, and what better way to do that than to go on a cruise, Like my imagination of going on a cruise is just hanging out, relaxing, not doing much, but partying, obviously. But yeah, most of it is just, I just wanted to take a break from everything that I've got going on in my life, in a sense.
Well, that is awesome, and again, I can't thank you enough for trusting me with the time off, coming to me and wanting to vacation with me. And little did you know that it's one of my favorite things to do. Take a first time cruiser or to get that text message that I am ready.
Exactly.
To cruise. So I've invested, as you know, a lot of time and energy into this, and I would say I've cruised with a lot of first time cruisers, and I'll go out on a limb here and I'll say you're one of my favorite first time cruisers because you put the trust in me, right? You have said, "Tell me where to send the money. We're showing up.
How
When we
much
show
is
up,
it?
tell me where we're going as far as the airline, and I will be there."
Yeah.
And you trusted me so far up until this point, and everything has gone smooth. And everything is going to continue to go smooth.
I think most of that was just because I mean, I know when we used to work together, and I could see the excitement and how many times you've gone on cruises and your enjoyment for doing this. And so, what better person to go to than yourself for you know, my first time, and or I'm sure we'll have more after this. So
Okay. I
we'll
appreciate
see.
it.
I'm excited to have you be the one that has navigated this whole thing. You know, that comfortability of like being comfortable with your money and the process. You know, I've felt that I've been taken care of this whole time. You know, so that's one big like big thing that I've just been super stoked about is to go on a cruise with Scotty Boy,
That's
Mr.
sweet.
Controversial Cruiser.
I
He seems
really,
like he knows. He seems like he knows how to party a little bit, just a little bit. You know,
Exactly.
and that's the thing. I mean, go there, relax, enjoy yourself. No matter what happens, don't let it bring you down. Go enjoy yourself. Just shake it off and move on. If something goes wrong, just shake it off and hey, where's the next party at?
Yes,
And enjoy
sir.
yourself.
That's life in general right there, you know?
That's life in general.
you know, and that's also knowing too, like, let's just say, right, I had a 7-day cruise and I'll probably go on another 7-day cruise. But if that was my next cruise, I probably would not have brought you on a 7-day cruise.
Yeah.
I would want to bring you on a 4 or 5-day or even a 3-day cruise. So when you texted me you're ready, it honestly was the perfect time because this is going to be a party atmosphere. It's going to be a party cruise because, like I said earlier in the live, people feel like they don't have enough time. Well, not say they don't have enough time, but as soon as you get on the ship, it's 4 days. Then it's 3 days. Then it's 2 days. Then it's got, you know, so it goes very, very fast. So everybody wants to get the value out of their drink package. They want to get all their meals in. They want to relax. They want to put their feet up. You know, they want to get to Cozumel where we're going and hang out and go to the beach. So I mean, I can't wait. I also want to open up the chat too. If anybody has a question in our last 10-ish minutes here for Keone about being a first-time cruiser, you have any questions for Bill, if you have any questions for me about New Orleans, please drop them in the chat. We will use this last 10 minutes to kind of interview Keone and also see if anybody has any interesting things to say in the chat. But again, I am absolutely super pumped that we are going. I think it's less than 27 days now.
Oh, we're getting there. It feels like it's next week. You know, I'm getting that excitement to get the ball rolling. That's for sure. Get out of this heat. You know.
That is very true.
Keone, have you ever been to the Caribbean?
No. I mean, I've been to Hawaii, you know, so I've been.
Okay, you've seen nice beaches. Okay,
yeah.
I just wanted to, you know, you get a lot of people who've never been to someplace where they have like really, not I consider nice beaches, clear water. You know that real fine sand, and so you kind of know what to expect. I think you're still, even been in Hawaii. I still think when you see the water, some of the waters where you're gonna be like, I didn't know water could be that clear.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm a huge swimmer, so I'll probably be in the water a lot of the.
And now the one thing that and we can tell everybody what I've been bugging you about, but the one thing that I've been bugging Keone the most about this entire trip is that he doesn't have his passport. So we're gonna have to be doing the whole birth certificate. So I had him send me a copy or proof that it is the actual 110% birth certificate. And I think I've asked 15 times, but I finally got that picture and I feel better. So yeah, I don't know who out there still is traveling with a birth certificate, but please, send a picture to your travel companion so they can feel better.
So they can relax.
Yes.
But even for you though, because what happens is you go to these foreign countries and, you know, God forbid, you like to swim. Well, let's say you get stung by a jellyfish, have a bad reaction, have to go to the hospital, miss the cruise ship. You can't fly back on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
So having a passport, no matter traveling any place outside the country, I recommend having a passport and travel insurance.
Yeah.
Just in case something goes wrong. I mean, again, I was notorious for no travel insurance, but as I get older, I see the need for it just in case.
Yes. And it's like $125 too. So after this cruise,
for travel insurance.
No, for the passport, I believe.
Oh yeah.
For a new passport. So.
I
Or
do
that
need
new
to,
real
get that.
ID that they're making everybody get. I don't know if anybody has gotten that yet, but the real ID.
I haven't gotten it yet. The real ID, no, haven't gotten that yet.
I'm gonna keep my passport. So
Yeah,
Let's
I think
see.
I like the nostalgia of the book. You know, give me my stamps.
yeah.
So we'll get there. And like I said, I rarely go out of the country, so that's. But then again, I live right next to Mexico, and every time I'm over there, it's just here's my ID.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's just the times.
Well, a lot of times, you could certain ways you could drive across, but we could take an air, flights
Flying
is
or
where you get
cruising.
stuff.
Yeah.
I did end the poll. We had the poll. Have you ever taken a cruise from New Orleans? We had 42 people voting no, but I want to. 61%. Yes, I love NOLA.
Okay.
35%. Been too many times to count. 2%. Scott, I imagine that's you, Scott.
I actually didn't even vote. Whoops.
Oh, well, 2%.
I didn't vote.
Too many times to remember. Sounds like maybe cruise nuts.
But most of you have not been out of New Orleans. That is very interesting. Very, very interesting.
How long does it typically take to get a passport?
Now they're saying about 12 to 13 weeks on standard. On expedited, like 6 to 8.
Oh, okay.
But that's on average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, well, let's get ready to wrap this up because I want to go to Moonlight Adventures because I want to see Tony La Lita Loca and what he has to say.
100%.
The music?
Let's just
No, that's Ricky Martin. Living La Vida Loca. No.
Nobody has. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that nobody had any questions. Sweet. Awesome.
All right, you guys.
Yoni, Scott, do you have anything coming up?
Coming up. So tomorrow I have Thirsty Thursday travel and cruise trivia with Embarkation Nation at 4:00 PST, 7:00 EST, and then I have some premieres coming out this week and weekend, and then I'll be right back here with Warmstrong next Wednesday.
Sounds good. I have, let's see, tomorrow I have Banter with Bill at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So come here. We're going to be talking about Vegas or cruising. Which one do you like better? And then again, next week, same place, same time. Me and Scott will be doing a show, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So check. Make sure you come back next week.
Yes, sir.
And the countdown is real, Keone. The countdown is real.
It's on.
Thanks for coming in tonight, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you for being here. Make sure you go over to Moonlight Adventures. Tell them that you're coming from a controversial cruising raid or a Warmstrong Adventure raid, and let them know that where you came from, and we'd appreciate it. On your way out, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you so much, and we are going to get ready to get out of here.
See you guys next week.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.